Greetings, geeks. This is episode 872 Geeks in Space. I'm Rob Commander Takamalda, and joining me after so much technical difficulties, I have Chris DeBona.
Hey.
And Rob Roseboom.
Grumble.
Wow. Yeah, that sums it up.
It's been my day, too.
Nothing is going well for anybody.
It was going okay.
Oh, I mean, until we decided to podcast.
Until we decided to podcast, and I tried to upgrade my camera. And
what do you mean upgrade? When you said upgrade, what do you mean?
I mean get a new one.
You got a new one?
Yeah.
Okay. I really should have just thrown some more shit in that box I sent you, but okay.
There's got to be a gaming rig worth or a streaming rig worth of something that
we
can copy.
Well, here's the thing. I have video meetings with this rig all week long with different people, and it always works.
Mm-hmm.
The only time it doesn't is when I do this.
Oh.
So
it's Mal's fault.
It's my fault. I got it. All right.
It is overly complicated.
That's kind of my thing.
I know.
Yeah. If there's an easy way to do it, then I don't do it that way. Well, let's see here if I can find the right tab that has the Reddit on it so we can talk about things. Oh no, I don't want to take a survey from Chrome to tell me about my Chrome experience.
Or maybe you should.
Yeah, I got some feelings. Well, let's see. The first thing we've got on the list is that a paralyzed man piloted a drone using his brain. Rob, this could be you.
I mean, hopefully not.
Hopefully not. But maybe. This is not the Elon Musk startup thing. At least.
Is this story like? Is it noteworthy because it's the first time someone drove a drone, or is there like a new system they're using it? Because people have been using their brain to do stuff for a while.
I mean, my brain's controlling my fingers now. I don't.
Well, I mean, they can use them to move cursors. They can use your brain to type out. You can use your brain to pilot a little car. I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Is it just that it's a drone? It's the first time they use something in the air.
But I think that they've driven drones before too. Using ECG type stuff.
This is cutting edge brain implants, man.
So what you're saying is we should find this guy and tell him he ain't shit.
Yeah, basically.
Like, hey, how the hell did you get a story about you?
Would be really funny if he's like, yeah, and then I ran it right into that fire plane. The fire dropping plane. Yeah.
We could go try to fight him, but he's got drones, and we've only got fists.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I could take a drone out.
It hurts when you're hit by them, just for the record.
Yeah, for sure.
I hardly have any feeling in my hands. It'll be fine.
Yeah, you should go.
Oh my goodness. So the next one that I have on the list, we probably aren't going to want to mess with, but it's hysterical. It's called Taboo. And you give it a list of websites that you're trying to quit, and then it adds jump scares. So when you're using these websites, you get jump scares.
That's fantastic.
And if we were braver people, I would suggest that Chris install this plugin, and then we try to see if we get jump scared on Reddit.
Nope.
While we're doing it. But I'm afraid that given the technical difficulties that we've had today.
Yeah, I'm not touching crap.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. And also, it's probably going to be like honey. It'll start rewriting affiliate links and sending everything to China. And suddenly I'll have Temu installed on my phone somehow. And
then Linus Tech Chips has to show up at your house.
Yeah, exactly. And they have to say how sorry they are because they one day had a taboo story and they didn't apologize enough for Steve at Gamers Nexus. Yeah.
Yep.
It might make like going to the DMV website or Social Security website more fun if you just have a jump scare every now and again.
Yeah, I'm sure it wouldn't mess up your workflow at all.
No.
When you're in the middle of a complicated visa application and then you're jump scared.
Surprise.
And it turns out that it was installed by Donald Trump in the first place because he doesn't want any filthy foreigners or any Americans to become filthy. I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, it did break up the boredom.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
It's true.
That maybe it would be good for like attention, like you're taking tests and stuff. Like it would like get you the adrenaline going. Like that, I could see actually value in this.
Yeah, and that's one thing you want for sure when you're trying to concentrate. Lots of adrenaline.
Yeah. People are into that. You can lift up a whole treadmill if you have enough adrenaline.
Yeah.
At least half
for
of
sure.
one. Don't try to carry it up the stairs, though.
Yeah.
The next one that I have on the list, there's a few stories about AI this week, unsurprisingly, but I've got a curated list of tools designed to sabotage AI crawlers.
That's hilarious.
Which I kind of love. You know, like text to generate fake stuff. And the names like iocane is one of the names of
iocane powder. Yeah.
It's AI poison.
Nice.
Yeah. And given that they trained off of Reddit, I don't know how you're going to distinguish the poison from the real stuff anyway. But
there's a lot of garbage out there.
There is a lot of garbage, especially on Reddit. I just found that very amusing. I like that we're organizing around that. Guys, YouTube is adding new hour-long unskippable ads. And the best part is
this is part of the ad blocking war.
Yeah,
here. Though.
This is exactly part of the ad blocking war.
So hour-long?
1 hour long unskippable ads, but they only serve up to people who are running ad blockers.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I
still pay for premium, and it's honestly one of the best things in the world. I have no idea what people are going on about, you know, with their ad problems.
An hour seems a bit excessive.
Yeah, just a bit. But you know, you got to get you got to squeeze that lemon somehow.
Yeah.
How are you going to maximize shareholder value except by letting
you can only fire me so many times.
Yeah, so people are pretty excited.
Lay me off. Yeah.
People are pretty excited about it. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
The next one that we have on the list is actually kind of connected to the Deepseek story. But this is some leaked paper from Google from a couple of years ago, apparently, and they're just like.
Paper's a strong word. I'd say an email, you know.
Yeah. Well.
But yeah, and also, it's not word for word because I write a lot more concisely than the current generation of Googlers. But I was like, yeah, I mean, this is obvious that this is going to happen.
Yeah. And this essentially is a story. This is a paper, a write-up, an email, whatever you want to call it, that just predicts Deepseek. Like small open source models are nimble and fast and can be run on consumer hardware. And the idea that you would need terabyte of RAM and half a data center to run your cajillion key model. Maybe that's good in some cases, but maybe it's not good in other cases.
Well, I mean, they still have a fundamental issue in that they do not understand what value their users are getting from their products. Right. You know, so as long as that's true, Google's never going to figure this shit out.
But they're going to get hour-long ads from people who don't pay, who run ad blockers.
Yeah, it seems like they want to make a giant universal tool that fits everything. And that has never been true in the history of any technology.
And honestly, every time somebody shows me like a haiku generator or a thing that'll go to your dumb meetings for you, I'm like, you know, do you have a real life, a real job? You know, because this was never valuable before.
Nope. You
know, if the thing that you're trying to AI up sucked in the first place, it's not going to suddenly become valuable because you slap some AI on it. It's still going to be a stupid meeting that should have been an email.
Ambalu wants to know how much CPU and RAM one needs to get their AI girlfriend. And I'm telling you, your AI girlfriend can run in a hell of a lot less than 400 gigs of RAM.
It depends on how deep you want the conversations to go.
Oh, yeah. It was like, I don't know. It was one of the... I'm sure it was one of Trump's, nominees for a cabinet position, but they're like, it seems like you spent a lot of money on porn. And I'm like, when people talk about using AI for their girlfriends, and I'm like, are you having problems finding pornography on the internet?
Yeah.
Were you unable to buy a waifu pillow? You know, have it shipped from Temu in like 2 minutes for $14.
Who spends money on porn?
Who spends money? I'm like,
that's the real question.
Yeah, it's like air. It just exists on the internet.
Right, it's everywhere. Like you've been to Las Vegas. You're walking down the street. You look down at the garbage on the street. You're like, oh, it's all porn.
Yep.
You know, it's like it's literally
Floor
asphalted porn.
I mean, I assume there are better kinds of porn if you spend money for it, but I guess I don't really have a lot of experience in that.
I would assume it's not. You know, this is not a business that's known for its non-exploitation. You know.
But is it a business known for showing 1-hour ads?
I mean, I guess it depends on what you're into. Like, I would imagine like a studio's Bigfoot porn would be way better than what we could put together in the garage, you know, with an old winter coat and a furry hat.
Swamp bottom girls.
You know, but the thing you find out about people real fast, there's gonna be people who prefer the Rob Roseboom homemade stuff over an overproduced thing, over a Sora or a Stable Diffusion version.
Sure.
Right.
You know,
because it's
they
more
just want
believable.
that authenticity.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
They don't want a fake Bigfoot.
Yeah. I don't really believe that's Bigfoot.
And you have the tapes from the Hidden Creatures. You know, I mean,
do.
You can have the best possible
for sure.
We can compare their calls. Maybe that's somebody's fetish.
You know, honestly, like thinking about that trip that Samson Puss did, right? And how the wedding was on the other side of the wall from the Bigfoot calling contest.
Yes.
You know,
I'd forgotten about that.
Best wedding ever.
Just mentioned it.
It was rent free in my head. But, you know, in retrospect, I'm thinking that they wanted it, you know, like it's their kink, you know?
Yeah, maybe.
Like them getting married to the sounds of Bigfoot calls is probably something they'll treasure forever.
I mean, it is also
or until they divorce.
Remember that it's not just through a wall. The wall that separated the room was one of those, like, that you pull.
Yeah,
you know, It's like, you know,
it was a room divider.
A partition.
Yes, it was a room divider with a reception going on one side and a bunch of yahoos screaming Bigfoot calls
in the next cubicle.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty great.
It made the dad bride dance a lot weirder than it needed to be.
Well, I guess it'd be the Yeti child. You know, just saying.
The Yeti gets prima nocta.
Scary.
Very scary.
And we have shown exactly why people would rather get the artisanal stuff.
That's true.
Right, exactly.
The overproduced Canadian garbage version.
But
exactly. I mean, instead of her garter belt, the bride threw some of her bedding materials.
But if anything, this is an argument for smaller models that you can run on your local GPU. Because I got to tell you, I don't want OpenAI knowing about my Yeti fetish.
Too late.
It's done. It happened.
It's done.
Yep, they already.
There's no moat.
Yep, there's no moat. They're training off of YouTube, guys. Speaking of training, OpenAI was mad because they say that Deepseek was training off of OpenAI, which is so great because OpenAI trained by just stealing everything from the entire internet ever.
Well, I mean, all these models work that way, right?
Of course.
No, I think they're mad because one of the things that Deepseek does, it's actually very, very smart, is it allows you to use other models more efficiently.
Of course.
You know, so if you have the, some Llama model, you can basically have Deepseek operate it more efficiently. And also they're upset that they would compare it against OpenAI's output or whatever.
Yeah.
But what's good for the goose?
That's right.
What's good for the Yeti is good for the Bigfoot.
That's right.
Well, and they're upset that they spent so much money and the Chinese did it for a 20th.
Oops.
Right? So.
Yeah, we saw this with open source back in the day too. They're like, we're giving it all away, and then they're taking it and using it, and it's like, yeah. Turns out that's exactly what they're doing.
Don't worry, a couple of companies will rise up. They'll privatize some segment of it. They'll embrace and extend it, and then ruin it again. That's the.
They're like, how do we put tariffs on Deepseek? And I'm like, you can't tariff something I've already downloaded, bud. Sorry,
But is there a way that I can somehow seize control of it, ruin it for everybody else, and then force everybody to watch 1-hour ads?
Well, it's not going to be 1 hour ads. It will just be whatever you write to it. It will want you to read its poetry for an hour first.
Oh, good Lord.
I wanted Yeti porn, but all I got was haiku.
We have been working on a novel.
It is very good.
Yeah. You have clicked this page too quickly. You couldn't possibly have read my story.
Yeah.
Slow down. The Yeti slowly unbuttoned her blouse. No.
Do they wear blouses? I don't think they do.
I don't have a lot of experience.
It's probably like in the cartoons, they just put like a bow in the hair, and that's how you know that's the girl
like
Yeti.
Miss Pac-Man.
Yeah, the Pac-Man fashion, thing. Yeah.
The only difference between male and female Yeti is the bow.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, or they have like a little tutu, like in Bernstein Bears.
Or the male Yeti is the one explaining how roots work. While the female lady just sits patiently waiting for him to shut up.
He's talking about the Roman Empire or World War II or something. Yeah.
It all checks out. The last one that I had on the list is there's a scandal brewing in Germany.
What?
Because they apparently Seagate's been selling hard drives.
This is hilarious, actually.
Thousands of them apparently that are running, that have like thousands of hours of runtime already on them, and they're selling them as new. And it's not like, apparently it's not like an isolated incident. There's like a lot of cases of this, and apparently this article doesn't disclose which vendor is selling them, but
yeah, that's
like,
the question.
They're like, it's multiple vendors, and then the vendor that was doing it no longer sells the drives.
Yeah.
So some shenanigans were occurring, guys.
So I have an array here of 8 Exynos drives or Exos drives. And I got them for about half the price of new from one of the refurbishers.
Sure.
One of them died immediately, and then its replacement died a year and a half later when it was out of warranty. I knew what I was getting into.
Yeah. You decided that you'd pay 30% less and you would have
50% less. I mean, I got a lot of money off.
Nice.
Yeah. So, but I also knew that might come with strings attached.
Now, here's the frustrating thing. My RAID has 5 drives in it. I bought 5 brand new drives. One of them died a week later, and another one died 3 months later.
So, oh, really? That's interesting.
Yeah.
Usually they would die in that first week and then not die.
Yep. And my previous RAID, I had all 4 drives die, but like within 6 months of each other, but after like 4 years. So after 4 years, like tink, one went down, and then like almost the day I got the thing the RAID recovered, the next one died, and they just kept all toppling. But I've been rock stable on my RAID now for like a year and a half. And
okay,
so
it's I'm loading the health info on drive 1. This is, I mean, how many hours is that? Yeah, so that's about right. Yeah. So this one was basically new when I got it, going through them. Is this exciting? Listening to me, look at my smart information from the drives. Let me find the one I replaced.
Give us more metrics, Chris.
Can you?
I mean, that's some sexy stuff, right?
Can you generate a chart of how much your cats weigh?
Oh yeah, so here's the one I replaced, and it's got 2,000 hours now, which is about right because that's about when I replaced it. So, how much my cats weigh? My cat is actually pretty. He's decent size. He's not fat. He's not too skinny, and he's older. He's 13 now, but he's a good cat.
I have my litter box rigged into Home Assistant, and it has a chart that tells me how much the cat weighs whenever it gets.
Is it one of those smart litter boxes with like the turny thing?
No, it's just a guy. He's standing there. He picks up the cat, squeezes it.
Sure.
Widget weighs.
That makes perfect sense to me.
Yeah,
then he measures the poop and subtracts the number.
Yep. He's got it. He does it with an abacus.
Does it have a scale under it? So when he hops on it, it takes the weight of the cat as the difference and tells you how much your cat weighs?
It's built into the litter box.
Yeah, It's not a great system, but I mean, it's
I mean, like how much does the poop weigh? Is there a post and pre-poop cat weight that you get?
I just get one number.
I don't think you're quantifying your cat's self all that well.
Yeah, so you don't measure it wet versus dry?
Yeah. Do you wet the cat down first?
I hose it off.
No, I meant the poop.
I put it in a Ziploc baggie. I sent it to the labs.
Let it sit outside and dry out for 4 days.
Yeah,
or
as
wet
is
up.
traditional.
Yeah. I want to distinguish the wet from the dry material.
Correct.
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah, it is.
We're
doing science here. Science has to be precise.
And we're scientists.
In all fairness, the scale is not particularly accurate. There's like a half pound of variance. But also, I like my cats vary in weight. And it is kind of interesting. And also, I can't identify my fourth cat. Like, I don't think my fourth cat uses.
He's just not around anymore. I didn't eat him.
Yeah.
Well,
I thought you meant that if a cat showed up,
I think a Yeti
tell
got him.
if it was your cat or not.
Yeah.
I think he got Yeti'd.
Yeah. Well, he's out there and he's hungry. He after the wedding, it's been pretty boring for him. Not a lot going on.
Yeah.
Do we have any good media that we're interested in discussing, gentlemen?
Oh, there's something I was going to bring up. What the hell was it? I finished Interior Chinatown. That was great.
That's on my to-do list.
Oh, man. This is going to bug me because it was like, oh, those guys would love this.
It was, so the Oscar nominations came out.
It wasn't that.
There are 35 films nominated. I had already seen 16 of them.
Okay.
I've watched 5 of them since then. I have 19 to go, I think. Or no, it was 14 to go. I have a lot to go, but I have a month to do it, so that's okay. And I always enjoy, but it does mean that I get to watch like a half a dozen like really sad movies about like the tragedies around the world. I'm halfway through a documentary about like Palestinians having their homes taken from them and like military people just like running over their houses with bulldozers and stuff, and it's just awful. I'm watching this movie and just like I have to stop because I'm so sad.
Well, that'll stop it from happening, you know, if you don't watch it.
If I pause it, it halts. It's like in Megalopolis. You just say time stop,
which I never saw because I value my head.
Well,
yeah, I never watched it either.
You're missing out.
We love ourselves.
I watched him describe it on many shows, and I thought, oh,
that's enough.
Yeah,
I can never. I know I never have to watch this now.
It's extraordinarily bad.
Was Amelia Perez any good?
I did not care for it.
What, that was a movie? What was it about? I don't even know what it was about, man.
It's a mobster.
Is it like a John Wick kind of movie?
No, it's a Mexican mobster wants to escape from the mob. And
you mean the cartels?
The cartel, sure.
Yeah. Sure.
I mean, really, what's the difference?
Don't be careful where you say that.
Oh, all right. I mean, there's a fine line distinguishing the difference between the oligarchs, the mega corporations, the mobsters, and the cartels. I mean, they all essentially do the same thing, with just varying degrees of legality, right?
Especially.
Sure.
And I guess you could probably mix in most governments. Large groups of humans, they're questionable. The thing about there's a lot of things about Maria Perez, but I found the songs to be jarring and not very good. The choreography is like really erratic. They have Selena Gomez in it singing like a song, and it's not even a good song.
Wasn't she in it?
This is a musical?
It's a musical.
Oh, it's a musical. That sounds awful.
Yeah.
Oh,
but not
You're just layering on the reasons to not see this shit.
And like really elaborate choreography, and like the characters are like, and nobody's likable, and that's okay. Like you don't have to have you don't have to have
who wants to like people in a
Who
movie?
wants to like people? That's crazy.
Yeah. I don't want to spoil the central
Oh, ballerina is what I was thinking.
Yeah, please don't spoil it for me or our listeners.
All right, I'll spoil it. So if you don't want it spoiled, the deal is the mobster is trans, and so the way that they escape is by transitioning, and so that becomes like a big part of the second and third act.
Okay.
And I mean, that's why the movie's getting nominated all over the place, I suppose, because the movie is just not very good. I didn't care for it. But I didn't care for it because like the choreography is all frantic and erratic and the songs suck and like I don't like any of these people, and they're all bad, and like they're all shitty and murdering. And
I mean, that seems like a perfectly valid reason not to like a movie.
Yeah.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah. That it sucks. The people suck. The music sucks. The choreography, everything about it sucks.
Yeah, I did not care.
Yeah,
for
we should definitely not watch that.
Yeah.
So thank you for taking the bullet for us, Malda.
There you go. I watched a documentary called The Donut King about the Cambodian donuts.
That's kind of interesting.
It was
a sort of like, I kind of like the little societal stories like that, you know.
It goes to a place in the middle that like I did not expect, and I won't spoil that one. You like if you like interest, this is like one of those lighthearted documentaries you can have on in the background. The first half of it is a lot about like the refugee camps, what happened in Cambodia, people escaping from all of that, and then the second act is kind of him building a donut empire, and then it kind of ends with like the second generation, the third generation of kids inheriting these donut businesses around LA. It's fun. Moana 2 is not as good as Moana 1. Sugarcane, that's like a sad movie about the Catholic Church killing kids, killing indigenous
that's the Canadian
kids.
one, right?
Yeah, in Canada. It like again, like
it's not the American Catholic Church abusing children. It's the Canadian one, right?
It's all one group.
Is it the Australian one? Wait, which one is it, and which church?
Chris, it's hard to distinguish the difference between a mob, a cartel, and a major religion.
Yeah, because there was the Mormon one on Netflix, and yeah.
So what kind of kids were they killing?
Indigenous
kids. That was native indigenous kids.
Yeah.
Indigenous kids. Yeah.
It's really sad, but it's slow, and like they didn't have enough material, I think, to fill a feature length documentary.
So more kid killing.
Yeah, more kid killing.
Right, gotcha.
Yeah. I would have needed a lot more to really sell it. No, it's like they follow a few people and their story is really sad, but like you need to have 90 minutes worth of things happening to fill it. Like this is a half hour. They had a half hour material that they stretched for me anyway. Last night I watched one called Heretic, which is like an A24 horror movie with Hugh Grant.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's actually kind of worth watching.
It's creepy.
It's creepy. Like he kidnaps a couple of Mormon girls, and there's a lot of like espousing about theology, and then it goes into a full blown horror movie, and it's pretty messed up. And I watched Maria, where Angelina Jolie is playing a famous opera singer, who like meets.
She's playing Maria Callas.
Maria Callas, yeah. And like I don't know anything about opera, so it wasn't really my.
Well, she sort of famously dated the dude who did.
Yeah. Onassis.
No. She also dated
the lead singer of Smash Mouth.
Yeah, she was an all-star.
Yeah.
It intersects with JFK and Jackie Kennedy and Aristotle Onassis and like that.
Oh, I'm thinking about the woman from Phantom of the Opera. Sorry. All
right. No, it was fine, but it's one of those movies where like it's really serious. Everybody's sad. It's about depression and like the fading end of a star's career, and like so it's not a fun watch or anything. It's the genre of an A-lister actor in present day portrays an A-lister artist of the previous or two generations back. Like we've seen a million of these, and it doesn't. For me anyway, it was fine. It's fine, I guess. But unfortunately for me, I think next on my list might be Sonic 3.
Yeah.
That's not going to be good.
You could skip it though, probably, right?
Can I though? Is that allowed?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly what the system is over there, but I think you're not really forced to watch any movie if you think it's going to be bad.
That's going to be a big change for Rob.
Yeah. No, I watch bad movies. That's what I do.
I mean, I watch bad movies too, but I don't like if I think it's going to be bad at first, I don't necessarily watch it.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, I'll think about it, but I kind of want to watch Jim Carrey.
just mull it over, you know.
I could consider it. I like Jim Carrey, and he's gonna play a mustache twirling, super weird bad guy. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I still kind of blame him for Jenny McCarthy's death, cult, but whatever.
That's probably not unfair. Does anybody got anything to recommend?
Let's see. I don't got nothing.
I got no shortage right now. I got 14 more Oscar-nominated films to watch before.
Oh, there's a pretty cool video game that's in early access called XO.
Okay.
That I actually kind of really enjoyed. It's got a very vector style of graphics, so it looks like, Upgrade met DEF CON, but it's really fun so far. But I only did the tutorial level and then I can't get it to start again, but yeah, whatever.
What genre?
Space game.
But like puzzle, action, shooter, story?
It's basically you're a Battlestar Galactic collecting a bunch of ragtag fleet together and going around the universe trying to.
Am I flying a spaceship or shooting a gun?
You're flying
down
a spaceship.
Okay.
You're flying a spaceship.
I like flying spaceships.
Yeah. Who doesn't?
I have on my table, and I haven't started it for like the last 2 months. I have Astrobot, and I've been really wanting to play that. But every time I try to get down to play Astrobot, I realize that I could be watching Sonic 3.
Yeah, and isn't that wonderful?
Yeah. All right, folks. I'm glad we managed to record something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did it.
Despite computers.
So much technology fail. Goodbye, Chris Tabona.
Bye.
Goodbye, Rob Roseboom.
Goodbye.
That was episode 872 of Geeks in Space. I was Rob Commander Taco Maldo. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.